anymore. And we move over for it. All right, we're here with CRIPPLIN D. We got Diamond Dave next to us because, you know, he's amazing. And he's very, very, I want to say, knowledgeable in the game. He does.
He stretch. Appreciate that.
I don't know. You know, you're up there. You got a lot of resources. So, I mean, compared to the rest of us, we're tiny peasants. So, we're just watching how it goes. And as for CC, I mean, if just even if it's, yeah, I'll try that in a little bit, Juicy. I will. Dave is not pushing to finish DD8 day one. Dave is trying to enjoy DD8 and all the brutal, disgusting crap that it's going to give out. Looking at the modifiers, I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid. Oh, Odin's got a lot of help there, so. But we're looking at Corvus's defense here. So Corvus has got a few of them on there. I am going to go. We're just going to go ahead through it. We're going to let Chet get involved with it. But right off the bat, if we show all 6 rooms for him, he's got some interesting defenses, and you guys could basically see which one we might say, hey, you need to switch up. Which I hope he switches. If not, well, then you don't listen to Dave, and you're not trying to be like Dave.
Who doesn't listen to Dave?
Oh no, Rich is giving the advice. I'm just here for funny commentary. That's it.
Oh man, you jerk. That's what I wanted to do.
That's what you got to do first.
The only difference is I think you're actually funny. I mean, I attempt it, but.
Oh, I appreciate that. Jeez, that's the first time anybody ever said that. Damn. Somebody clip that. Send it to me, please. I'd appreciate it.
Start the clipping. Start the clipping. All right, first room. He's got Spider Society in there. Full Spider Society. Do you guys think this is an okay defense for this room or not?
So my initial thought is that Spider Society is a great defense no matter what room you put them in. And depending on, so I can't say yes or no here. It depends on what the rest of his defense looks like, right? So in a vacuum, I don't like this in run. In a vacuum.
Okay.
So here's one thing that I'll say about it. This room almost tripped me up, and if it wasn't for Juicy, I might have lost to this, right? With Noir in 1 going first, ripping all the strikers. Like, you got to treat it differently than others. Others may just think you could SD Eternals it real quick, and you might not be able to.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna throw out there. It's tricky.
Yeah, you'd almost have to go. You'd almost have to have like the Superior 6 or something else. Like, now, like I said, is it going to be a pain in the ass? Yes. I just think Spider Society is a pain in the ass no matter what room you put them in. So if you have a better option, in 1. You know, you can use it, but it's not a bad room by any means. And like I said, in a vacuum, I don't like it, but depending on what the rest of his defense looks like, he might, you know, like there might be other rooms where I'd say you want to put this, but it doesn't make sense, right? But I don't hate it.
He's got full out of time in 2 with Black Knight, so
Go ahead, Dave. You can take this one.
Oh man, it's interesting.
I hate it.
I was gonna say, like, I don't love it, but I think there's much better options for 2. But it's not terrible.
My thing is, so I genuinely prefer the one thing that's here is if you neuter the Black Knight, there's really not a lot of damage coming through. And you know, I do like whatever Star Brand or whatever, but he does do damage, but he's a glass cannon, and most teams that are going to come into this are going to kind of neuter him pretty quickly. My suggestion here is almost removing Starbrand and Peggy and doing some type of hybrid here. I personally like mixing in Darkhold here. Agatha with Morgan, obviously with the extra barrier and kind of the all the extra, like, you know, the stealth element into it too, you tends to make the room a little bit more difficult. So personally, I like kind of mixing and matching and playing around with this room. I also like Cosmic Ghost Rider for offense, but that's just my own preference. But leaving him in is not a problem, but throwing in some type of hybrid, because I think Peggy just doesn't do enough for me. And Starbrand, he does do some good damage, but I don't think it's enough to really justify him in here.
Yeah, I agree. Fun one in 3, Annihilators with Vol. You should probably get rid of Vol, but that's just my opinion.
That's right. You beat me to it.
Probably should get rid of Vol. Somebody else. Although, Jesus, that Thanos and Gladiator are ridiculous.
So I think with the Thanos and Gladiator both being 2 diamonds, like, yeah, okay, there's definitely some shittiness that comes to this room, right? So it's gonna create a harder, so like, you know, it will drag the match out longer, which could potentially make Vol's ultimate a little bit more potent there. I just don't. I get you're trying to feed into the exposed mechanic of the room, but I just don't think the exposed mechanic really. I look at 3 as a throwaway, so that's just like some basic opinion there.
Yeah, I don't. Well, there's maybe a comp or 2 that can knock this out if you feel like breaking up some teams, but Vol doesn't do much, so you might as well take him out. I know he's huge, but the others will trip these guys up.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the room already does what it needs to do, right? Like, so if you put Surfer in there, you get a little bit extra from the passive from Surfer, and a little bit, you know, he's still tanky, so it's gonna provide more. The passive's gonna provide more than I think a Vol Ultimate ever will do. But like I said, that's preference. It goes back to what I say, like, almost with room 1. It's like the room's gonna suck no matter where it is. Like, it's just, you don't need to really mess with it too much.
It's fair.
Yeah,
nothing to add.
Yeah, keep Gore on it too. Gore would be better. So.
Oh, I didn't even. I was trying to Sorry, I was trying to figure out who was missing, and I'm like, oh, Surfer. It totally didn't even notice Gore was missing. But yeah, no. Gore in, follow out.
All right, you got Extreme with Rogue here, and any fun criticisms here?
Go ahead, Dave.
I've seen it with Bishop a ton too. Potentially better than Cyclops. So I don't know. I go on the fence here. It feels like this team's always underestimated. Like, people try to MOE it still. Like, I tried to MOE it a couple weeks ago. It was a bad idea. So it's an interesting thing. It feels like you have to have it either in 4 or 5. You know, I don't know.
So I think in 4 is the right move, just because of the stealth thing and all the stealth you're getting. I just think you take Nightcrawler out, but that's just because I'm a sociopath and like putting Nightcrawler in random rooms that people don't notice. But we can ask Dave about that one too.
yeah. Who'd you have it with? Was it Infinity Watch?
Infinity Watch. Yeah. So Nightcrawler Infinity Watch it was undefeated. It never got one shot. I have no idea how the hell it never got one shot, but just never did.
I will admit, when he showed me that room with Nightcrawler and Infinity Watch in there, I glanced over it and I didn't notice it till a while later. And then he's like, "Did you notice there was Nightcrawler?" And I was like, "Son of a bitch, I did not." I thought that was Nebula, to be honest, because I'm just so used to seeing Infinity Watch all together as a crap room. And he's like, "No, that's Nightcrawler." I was like, "Oh my god." Okay, well, too bad for them, but
yeah, it's one of those things where Nightcrawler, like, I think here's the thing: is Nightcrawler can take a mediocre defense team and turn it into a problem. Which, once again, you know, I'm looking at this in a vacuum. This room's fine. If you were to, I don't like. I mean, the Bishop one, I'm half and half with. I know it does work, but it's, you know, I prefer to take Nightcrawler, because without Nightcrawler, this room still sucks, right? My recommendation here is to take out Nightcrawler and put in Dakin, and then just bring Dakin to the moon.
Dakin's that sleeper. Dakin's a sleeper, man. People forget.
Listen, if people don't realize the Dakin, they're gonna have a bad time. They're gonna have a really bad time. So, and then, but once again, I don't know where to put Nightcrawler in after this. Obviously, you haven't seen the full defense, but I do think by putting Nightcrawler into a weaker defensive room, you're going to get more out of Nightcrawler than with this team.
I'm not too iffy on keeping Illuminati on defense. I don't like Illuminati on defense. Please.
Ew.
I got Illuminati on offense.
Yeah, I can't.
They're too good. They're too good on offense, and by putting them on defense, you are risking dropping a room at the higher levels. I was sorry, not clearing a room at the higher levels. I mean, it happens anytime I've seen, anytime somebody's gone up against me with Illuminati on defense, they don't clear a room. Like it's absolutely. So if you go up against a good defense, not having Illuminati is going to hurt you. Because the other thing too now, right? So your free-to-play Illuminati is its own team, and then Captain Britain is going in with for another really big counter that you can have. So this defense is really taking away two offensive juggernauts for you.
Yeah, I would take it off and put something else in there. That way you figure it out. But here's his new room 6.
I don't know enough to hate it or like it. That's,
yeah, I don't know it.
But so hear me out. I would rather put a different team with.
Wait,
Mephisto.
This is yours or his? Wait, hold on. So this is Spectre's or this is yours?
Oh.
Hold on. I'm curious because you posted it in there. I just didn't know. Yours is 4.1. Oh god. Okay, so his is 4.1. Same, but the same comp. Is that it?
So,
Jesus Christ.
My whole deal is I would put a different team in with Mephisto, and then I would move the Orcus team into room. I almost want to say maybe room 2 or room 5. The five it kind of neuters them because it's it's the heroes room with the deflex, but you can kind of figure something out. You put this in a different room. Because one of the benefits of Orcus is the random Scientist Supreme bringing somebody back thing, which gets neutered by Mephisto here. There is the element of people not knowing how to fight it. I just, and once again, this is also just ignorance, because I don't know the team well enough to really know how this is going to go, especially if, you double sack it and then you come in with something to try to take it out. I really don't know how that's going to go right now. But I just think that, there's probably a better option to put with Mephisto and then move this team out and kind of put in a fifth that kind of works with the team, and it's still going to be difficult to beat without Mephisto, right?
Yeah, this is still 4.8 million is still scary, but his is 4.1, so it's is what it is. But yeah, that I would say maybe in 4, since you can move those, you take Illuminati out and put Extreme in 5, so they get so they get at least they get the extra stuff from the room rules, and then try and throw somebody else in there with Mephisto in 6. But it's
the other option.
Is still
the
huge
other
and
option,
scary.
You could swap this with so just based off the mechanics of Orcus, you could swap Spider Society with this room, move them all to Strikers, put entirety of Orcus in room 1, maybe like Orcus Noir even or something, and then you get all the Striker bonuses because Scientist Supreme goes early and fast. They all have a lot of speed. They have a ton of damage, so maybe Orcus in 1 with like a Noir or something else for speed into 1. And that could be, and then you put Spider Society back in here with them, which, once again, I know it's easily beat, but it still requires something, right?
True.
But it's Also, like I said, I don't know enough about this to. Yeah, so that's the other thing I was thinking of. Boosh was the summons, because once again, with all the extra summons in there, every time a summons attacks, all the strikers follow it, right? So more summons equals more attacks. So.
Okay. All right, Corvus. Well, you got your feedback there. Yeah, swap 3 and 6, and this is how I would run it. Okay. Yeah, 3 and 6, you could switch them around there, even with just, you know, sussing them over there. In 6 would be a pain just to go through it, and this in 3 still would be a pain to go through it. So either way, you're gonna give your opponent a pain. But just move some stuff around, Corvus, because, you know, why not? Why not? And 4.1 million is still ridiculously huge. Even, I mean, this is Spectres, but 4.1 million is still pretty huge. And coming from me and Rich, when we're telling you got a huge D, I guess that's a compliment. So
some of us needs. I was gonna say some of us need a microscope to see ours.
Oh. I'm gonna say speak for yourself, but we'll leave it with Corvus there, man. Hopefully you get some changes. Hopefully you knock out some teams this week, man. Hopefully it goes, but yeah, I'll think. What?
First thing I said, Juicy, was I haven't seen this team in action. So yeah, I have not seen. I don't know enough about Orcus. I'm just saying from a mechanic standpoint, just that it probably could work a little bit better. I mean, like I said, you're probably still gonna get wins if this team's in there without Mephisto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this team is going to be a problem, and now that they basically gave them some little bit of mechanics outside of raids, they're huge and they're ridiculous, and those 3 diamonds are going to just be a problem.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a huge dick rod.
Yes, he is. He's pretty huge, but I'll thank Rich, OG Diamond Dave, and JPT for showing up late, because, you know, the British always show up late.
Always.
For jumping on for a second, but yep. Have fun.